Unscripted, unshackled, uncouth.
What you're about to hear is for more mature audiences only.
It's Miguel and Holly, Uncensored.
Welcome to the podcast. It is a Monday, May 1st. We are streaming live on the Miguel and Holly and the Hits 961 Facebook page. Also, the Miguel and Holly YouTube channel if you want to check it out there. Make sure to also check out our other podcasts like Miguel and Holly's Blown Off, Queen City Confessions. You can listen anywhere you listen to podcasts. Just make sure to also leave us a review. We would greatly appreciate it. So thank you so much for doing that. You today, Kelvin, talked about during your check-in that you had a few interactions over the weekend of people who listened to the show. And it's really cool to, slowly start to feel that people are catching on to what you're doing, because you spend so much time and energy, and doing a radio show is not like an opening weekend for a movie where boop, it's on and people are listening. It is a slow build, a slow process. And very rarely do you have any overnight successes. It's a slow process.
Right. It just takes a long time.
Yeah. And so now that we're hitting a year, or we've hit a year, we're starting to see it start to happen. And so I totally forgot to mention during the check-in this morning that one of my friends in Tampa was at a dinner party this past weekend with two people that were visiting from Charlotte.
Oh, that's so bizarre.
Right. And they were like, once my friend found out that they were from Charlotte visiting, he was like, oh, my goodness, Miguel. And they were like, oh, my gosh, we've been listening to them for the past few months and they've done a great job on the radio station. So I was like, look at that.
That's awesome.
I'd love to hear it.
And the guy at Publix, when I was checking out,
This is my favorite. I was like, oh, it's the Publix moment. I love this.
As
story.
I was checking out Friday, and the guy who was bagging my stuff was looking at me, and then he was like, do I know you from somewhere? And I'm like, I don't know. Do you?
Because we've done a whole podcast about this, but we will never be like, oh, you must know me from the radio. I do a radio morning show. I'm a personality. Never.
No. Because every time you go, oh yeah, I'm on the radio, they'll go, I don't listen to radio.
They'll be like, no, that can't be it. I don't listen. Radio's stupid. Have you ever heard of anybody that's on the radio? That's stupid. And then you're like, all right, I'm just gonna go
bury myself.
I'm in my room now. Yeah. So you never admit that you let them tell you that they think that you are their grandmother's cousin or something.
Anything but what you actually do. So I sat there probably for 10 seconds just looking at him, and I was like, I'm not helping you at all. So you just gonna have to say it or not. And I was like, yeah.
Shuffle it through.
No, but like, listen, hold on. Like, we're gonna count it down. Like, I'm just gonna look at y'all for 10 seconds. He goes,
okay.
So I think I know you from somewhere.
I don't know. That's so weird. No?
Oh, from the radio.
Man,
I was like, I'm not helping.
Looked away. I would have been
no.
I don't know, to be honest.
I said, I'm just going to look you dead in your eyeballs until you get it. So
you will get it.
Oh, it was so nice, though. But it's just really cool to start to feel that happen here when we took such a leap of faith, all of us, in coming here and starting over again. So
the first thing I told Miguel when that interaction happened, I was like, I fucking love it when that happens. So keep doing it.
I know. It's really, really great.
How was everyone's weekend?
It was not the weekend I thought I was about to have.
Right, yeah.
Oh, yeah, because you sounded really downtrodden at the beginning of the show this morning. You were like,
I was a little. I was a little bit frustrated. I was a little frustrated, and I'm not trying to put a whole lot of my business out, but I discovered at a late point in time that it was not going to be my ex-husband's weekend with my daughter. It was going to be my weekend with my daughter. And that's fine, obviously, because I love hanging out with her and I love planning stuff to do. But when you've been in your head thinking that you're going to have a certain type of weekend and then make plans for that type of weekend with your friend, and like everything is all set until like Friday afternoon when it's like, oh, just kidding. All of that needs to be scrapped. And then I did my best to try to salvage it. I'm like, well, maybe we could still do it. You know, my person can take Maya and this can be in this, we can compartmentalize. But then like the final nail in the coffin was like, I think my person was like, doesn't Maya have a birthday party to go to this evening? And I'm like, yep, never mind. Just never mind. I'm not doing my plans because of course I hadn't really prepared for that either. Cause again, my ex was supposed to take her to that birthday party. So I didn't plan for it. But then I'm planning. It was just, I just had to switch everything. And it worked out fine. Like it was a small inconvenience for me. I felt worse for my friend who had been like planning on going to Busch Gardens for Food and Wine Festival with me.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm the one with the pass.
Oh.
And so I'm like, well, we ain't going.
Oh, that sucks.
Sorry. And then, after that, I just felt really bad about that. But then I was like, okay, other than that, we'll just make it work. And it was fine. He had his daughter this weekend. I had mine. So we did like a bunch of fun little things, farmer's market and blah, blah, blah. And like they had a good little, girl time together, two of them yesterday. So overall, it was fine. But the only other bad thing is, I was supposed to go to Busch Gardens with my friend Erin on Saturday, and I was like, ugh, can't go. And so she was, of course, very gracious. Like I knew she would be, but then I still feel bad. I was like, well, let's make it up. We're gonna go next weekend. I for sure don't have Maya next weekend because now I've switched. It's back to it's like I've got like a flow chart going and the checks and balances, and it should not be my weekend next weekend.
That's what I was
And
gonna
she's
ask.
like,
Does everything else change now?
yeah, now we have to be on a whole different series of flip-flops.
Which means you'll be free the weekend that I'm there in Tampa?
Oh, yes. When are you here?
June 20th weekend. You said that you had her that weekend.
I don't have her that. Wait. Is that the Juneteenth weekend?
No, it's the weekend after.
It's a weekend after Juneteenth.
It's for St. Pete Pride, the 24th.
No, I still have her.
Okay, that's fine.
Here's why. Because so ex-husband and I were going to switch on Memorial Day, and that's why I knew already that I had her the weekend that you're going to be in town. But so we were going to switch, and I was going to have her the weekend before Memorial Day and the weekend of Memorial Day back to back because Memorial Day weekend is her recital, and that's too difficult for him to try to go back and forth. It's
gotcha.
Lots, and plus he was needing to switch because his friends have divorced kids that wanted to be on the same weekend as he had them, and I'm like, we got to now switch around our weekends because your friends' kids with the divorced parents thing. We worked it all out, but now we've switched now instead of waiting until Memorial Day. Y'all, co-parents, like if you got some co-parents in your life, just send them good vibes. It's a lot for both of us.
I feel like that would just be so, like you said, obviously it goes without saying that, you want to spend time with your daughter, but also at the same time, like you have to fill your cup up and do non-parent things to feel like an adult outside of just coming to work. And so being able to like go drink around or do the, food and wine festival, you know, it's something I know you were looking forward to, but it lasts for a while, right? Like it.
Well, yeah. And so that's why I was like, we have something. Well, I was like, let's go this coming weekend. And then she was like, well, I have my daughter this weekend. And I'm like, you know what? She can come because she's a little older. I was like, I have a pass. I can get in several of us. So she wants to bring a friend. They can go do rides. We can go do food and wine. And that was going to be fine until I remembered I have a birthday party this weekend that I had apparently forgot about.
Oh,
and she had already told her daughter. And I was just like, I woke up feeling sick about this on Sunday morning. And I was just like, it's life, but also, it's just triggered a chain reaction. So I was a little just mentally a little bit yikesing myself this weekend, but it's fine. We can maybe go some other time. Or I said, if I can't go, I'm gonna give you my food pass so you can at least have that so it doesn't get
like go
to waste.
Go,
someone needs to take this. But overall, we made the best of the weekend. Like I said, the girls had fun. So yeah, and so now we are back on our good schedule with like between my ex and I think it's right for his friends with their kids, but now we're off with my person's daughter.
Oh my gosh.
We got to figure out when we're going to get them back on the same one, because then he and I never get a weekend alone together. And so anyway, it's just the tediousness of figuring this out. So
Gosh,
anyway,
I feel for you, because I'm like,
it's
that's
a
just
time.
so much to have to wrap your brain around all the time and always have to like be.
It's the mental load. Like, you
Yes.
always have to be shut. And that's how I effed it up so much with like overbooking myself on next weekend, because there's so much that I'm always having to remember all the time. It was even in my calendar. And for some reason, my eyeball didn't like process that until later. And then I was like, oh my God. But it's just remembering all the stuff. And this month is the worst because it's the last month of the school year. And I mean, maybe for us, but maybe not Charlotte. I think Charlotte actually goes.
They go longer. They go till June, I believe. Yeah,
like mid-June almost. I feel like, but Maya's school anyway is out at the end of the month, and so everything is happening right now. The dance recital and all the extra practices that lead to that. She's got her production of Annie tomorrow. She's got all of the end of the year projects, and she's in like advanced learning placement, which gives her even more projects. And there's just field trips, and like everything is happening in these next few weeks. Plus, my person has a situation with his co-parenting situation that's very tense. And that's coming to a head mid-May. So May is just like is the literal end of the end game. I had been talking about back in January that this is the end game for me this year. This month is the actual end of it. This is all the Avengers assembling. We are assembled and we are taking on Thanos is what we're doing this May. So anyway, that's how I feel. That's how sorry about it. I just feel like I just had a giant bitch session, but I needed it, so I appreciate you.
Feel the feelings.
Let it all out. Kelvin, how was your weekend?
It was pretty good.
Did you have to juggle some kids?
No, but I did have to juggle some bitches. No, I'm just kidding. Actually, I had lunch with a friend on Friday, which was very fun. I went to Seoul Food Market because I wanted to go to Urban District Market, the brand new food hall, but that thing don't open up till 5 p.m. And so I'm
5
texting.
p.m.
Yes.
I thought it was for lunch too.
Me too. And so on the way there, I was like,
said that on the air.
Yeah, so I'm literally there putting the GPS, and I was like, how weird. It says it opens at 5. Must be a mistake. Get there, it's closed. But other than that, we had a really good time. He said that he is a fan of the show. He's like, I've just listened to the reels, but I really love the reels. And he's like, do you have a podcast? And I'm like, we sure do have a podcast.
Funny you should ask about
that. And so he followed us on Spotify. And then later that day, I went back home, walked the dog. Our friend who was in town, it was his last day, we decided to go to an escape room called Exit Strategy, which funny enough is right next to our old building's location on Billy Graham Parkway.
Oh.
And we go and I always like doing the horror ones. I don't care about doing like Amazon rainforest or, the cop ones. I like doing spooky ones.
There's spooky ones?
Yes, like, you have to go to the haunted house and like find out why the ghoul has been trapped for years.
No.
I love
this sounds amazing.
It's fun.
I want to do it.
Okay, first of all, you go to more escape rooms than anybody I know. I just want to put that up there.
Like, I still haven't even been to one, and I'm it's always on my list. And then Kelvin's like, I just built one by my house.
Kelvin's like, I'm opening one in my house.
They're so fun. But it was hard, bro. Like, the first room that we go into. Sorry.
They're all saying bro right now, Miguel. Like, even my daughter, who's called me bro 75 times.
I haven't said bro in like months.
That's up, bro.
And more bruh. Also, bruh.
But like, bro. So we go in, and the first room is a car. There's a car, and we're in the middle of nowhere, like the fake setting. And we have to figure out how to open a lock, but all we have is a car. There's no key. There's no nothing. We were just confused for like good 10 minutes. Then finally we noticed that the headlights are blinking, and you had to count the number of the blinking lights in order to make the little keychain thing, the key lock, open up. But that took us forever because we were looking for a key in this abandoned car.
Oh my gosh.
So
well, that's probably why they did that.
That's the first room.
Wait, so like
Oh,
while this is
God.
happening, like what's the sound like? Or is this like spooky? What's
Yeah,
going on?
And usually they're just silent, but this one had scary music.
Ooh.
Oh, God, I wouldn't be
it
able to,
was, It was tense AF.
Oh my gosh.
We go into the next room, and then there's a bunch of rooms that you need to go into, and so we go into like we're basically trying to help this ghost girl escape and find out what happened to her. And so things are bloody. It's pitch dark. We all had to get a little flashlight because there was no lights whatsoever.
You're like the CSI team.
It was a
Ooh,
lot.
This sounds amazing. I want to do it.
It's really fun. And then you have to go into like certain rooms, and you have to crawl a lot of times, and
Oh my God.
the cabinets will move. Like it was
Wow.
Yeah, it got I left.
I don't even like haunted houses to begin with because I gotta dig. Miguel can attest to this. I will dig my head into the back of somebody that's in front of me, so I don't have to
Oh
see
my
anything.
gosh.
Yeah, it got a little spooky at times, but I like that. But when we finished, we looked at each other and we were like, that was stressful. Like that was one of the more intense ones.
Now-
I will say.
How long was the entire, escape room?
It's always an hour, but you are able to ask for clues. Obviously, you try not to ask as
Right.
many. But yeah, we had to ask for certain times because there's certain escape rooms that you go into one room and that's it. You're finished with that room. You don't go back to it. This was one where you still had to be connected to the other rooms. So it was a little difficult.
Yeah.
And so you get to ask a clue, and the ghost will talk to you and be like,
Oh my
go back to my
goodness.
playroom and pick up my doll.
A dead kid. All right, listen. Wait. When next time I'm up there, can we all go do one and y'all see how terrible of a human I am when it comes to being in a stressful situation?
Girl,
Like-
and I am useless. I will help you find one clue or two.
Oh my gosh.
But I don't do it. I'm not the leader of it. So
That's why, I really enjoy those movies. I think, is it called Escape Room? It's sort of like a horror suspense movie. I think there's like 2 or 3 of them
Mhm.
where they have basically everything is an escape room, but or you die
yes.
but so
or
it's
you die.
or you die. So it's really intense. But I'm always like, I always wondered, would I be able to figure stuff out? Because I feel like when I'm watching it, I'm like, oh, of course you blink 5 times and then the door is gonna pop open when you hit it with your right elbow, but a little bit to the right. But then in reality, would I just be standing there I don't know.
I know.
I don't know. Oh no.
Me, bitch. Me. Like
Really?
everybody
I
is scrambling, trying to figure it and crack the code. And I'm staring at the wall of clocks and I'm like, I don't get it.
Oh my God.
I was fucking
Oh my god.
useless.
Wait, so did anyone get into any arguments or anything, or was everyone working because there were 4 of you?
Yes, the 3 of us.
3 of us, okay.
Oscar was working. But no, and there's never any arguments or tenseness, but there is scrambling. There is we don't get it. What do we do? And we're just trying to find clues, and we're trying to open things. And sometimes you want to really open shit, thinking that's where the clue is, and they tell you don't do that. You're gonna break the props. So that's when it gets a little frustrating. But no, you never fight with the person.
Yeah,
or
I
whatever.
feel like
don't think
I feel like I'd be pretty good because I feel like I'm a really good detective.
I feel like
don't
you'd
know.
overthink the clues though.
I absolutely would think about it 5 ways till Sunday, and they'd be
Yes.
like, "It's not that
It's not that
serious."
deep. It's
And I'm
not that
like,
deep.
But didn't the dead girl have a relative that came over on the Titanic? And this is cold like the water of the Atlantic Ocean. We're looking for an iceberg, and they'll be like, "No, that's not that. That's don't do that." And
we
would.
had a cube, a wooden cube, and there was an umbrella on it and a sun. And so on the wall of the girls' playroom, there was paintings of a sun, an umbrella, a rain. Had nothing to do with it. Just was
it's
there.
a red herring.
Literally, just
oh
for
no.
nothing.
See, I guess that's what I would have to you have to look at everything and be like, everything is a clue. Because whenever you've watched escape room movies, or when Holly and I used to watch Big Brother every summer and all the
Yes.
challenges, and I love being like, all right, how would I do with those in reality? But you have to sort of look at everything and take it into account to see what is going to help you get, is it pretty clear what you have to do next after each thing is completed or to get to the next place?
It's not as clear as you'd think. Like,
Mm.
I don't know. I hope the business isn't listening to this. Like, I'm like basically saying the whole thing. But there was a point where you had to look in the mirror and figure out a clue because you look at it straight on and you're like, okay, well, this is what we have to do with this set piece. And then when we weren't getting it, we were like, what the fuck? No doors are opening. We asked for a clue and they were like, look in the mirror. And the mirror showcased obviously the opposite way of putting your puzzle together. And that's when we were able to get the next clue. So it's not as easy as it may look. Even when you think it's easy to look at, it's not easy to solve.
I wonder, do you think it would be a good first date, or do you think that's like a third or fourth date?
No, not even until you are cool with your person. Until you're cool with your person and you know how to deal with each other. Yeah, but not.
I wouldn't want to do that. With him.
Because I left out of there like a little stressed. But when you're with friends, you can just cackle and laugh at it. But if you leave out of there and you just met somebody, you'd be like, so what's next?
Right? How do you? Yeah, that's not a good.
Yeah, because like one of my like trigger points is if I think that someone thinks I'm stupid, and I feel like if I was on a date, what's that, like a first date, and if I felt any sort of energy that they thought I was stupid, I'd shut down and be like, no, I'm good. I want to go home.
Yeah,
I want to go home. This is over. We're not.
It's
we're
no
not
good when
dinner.
Miguel shuts down. Oh
No.
God, what if we all go when Miguel shuts down anyway? As us, it's us. Miguel's just like, you know what? It's whatever.
The minute Holly gives me one of those like, what? I'd be like, exit. I'll meet you at the goddamn restaurant.
And I'm like, no, it's fine. It's fine.
You said I was stupid.
No, it's fine. I'm sorry. You can do the next one. Do the next one. Do the next one. Look, you can do it so good. It's so
Fuck both of
easy.
you.
I would love to do an escape room with you guys. That'd be so much fun.
Man.
Yeah, we have to get that done next time Ollie's here.
I think we really do.
Oh my
really
gosh.
Good.
And then Kelvin, you went out. I saw you out Saturday night at the club, and you were getting it.
I am telling you,
as the kids say.
I am so I'm so happy I found my life hack. I'll keep repeating it. Alcohol and me are not good friends, but me and Truly's we have a great fucking time.
Okay, thank you. I've been on Truly's for years now, and it's almost to a point where if I go to a social situation that doesn't have Truly, I'm like, oh, I don't know what to do.
Right.
What do I do to get myself? Because I want to, I'm not sober, but I need only one drink.
Correct.
Like that type of drink.
Correct. I did have a purple mule at Trolley Barn, but I don't know, it wasn't strong. It was just a regular.
What is that?
I think it had what is this new thing? Pea flower,
elderflower,
butterfly powder. I don't know, something like that. It's whatever makes it purple. It was super delicious. But then I went to the club and I was breaking it down. When you see that sweat dripping, that's when I'm having a good time. And then I was trying to teach my friend how to walk the duck. And so I was having him hold my hand because I can't do it without
some support.
And so I was doing my thing. And then by the minute I get up, I get a little tap on my shoulder. And it's Miguel.
Hi.
After his ass saying he wasn't going to go out.
I wasn't.
So
how did you get to go out? You weren't going to do it? Why did you do it?
No. So I had because Abe was out of town this weekend. One of our friends was celebrating his birthday. Happy birthday, Carlos, in Austin. So a bunch of our friends from Tampa, St. Pete, flew over there. And I was like, girl, we got some trips coming up. We can't both be spending money like that. So why don't you go? You have fun. That's one of your best friends. He was on your side of the wedding. Y'all go have fun. And I'll just, have a quiet weekend.
Right. Was it
quiet?
And let me tell you, I think after we said hi to each other, or maybe right before, you texted me, bitch. And I remember checking my phone and it was 20 minutes after and I wrote back, bitch. But I realized you came to the club at around 11:30 p.m.
Oh, did we?
Yes.
That sounds about right.
And
yeah.
then at 2:30 a.m. you wrote, what a time to be alive, in caps.
I think that was when I was waiting for my Uber.
What
and
was
I was
that
just
about?
like,
what was that about?
I probably some drama I was watching going down. Like, you never know. Because usually, at the end of the night, because the clubs here in Charlotte close at 2. And so this is why these after parties have been happening, because people don't get there till late and you're only there for a little bit. And then they usually stop serving about 30 minutes before they close. And so everyone's still like, all right, I can go some more. And
Who's
so
going some more at 2? Like, y'all
gays,
are wild.
gay
I could have
people,
kept going.
right? And so I'm sure there was probably some drama happening as everyone's waiting for Ubers. And so I'm just like, what's happening? Ooh, girl, did you hear what this person did? But I started Saturday with my friend Leighton. Him and I have been trying to do brunch, and so we went and had brunch Saturday at well, first I did CrossFit, which I was very proud of with one of my friends. And I tell you what, I'm just not 27 anymore. And I'm really having to humble myself because I just can't. And because I haven't done it in a long time either, I can't do some of the weights that I used to be able to do. So I have
you have to build back up.
Yeah, but they give you like what are called prescribed weights for men and women. They have like, here's a prescribed weight, and then here's the scaled weight if you're not doing that. But I have to go like below the scaled weight. And so I'm just like, it's fine. I'm still getting it though. But after all that, met my friend for brunch, and we were just gossiping and just getting to know each other outside of just being at the bars and stuff. And so we were having fun, having some cocktails, and we went to another place, and then some friends met up with us. And it was one of those things where it was like, oh my gosh, we're having so much fun. And then let's go to this person's house to sort of like, calm down for a second. And I was like, all right, cool, we'll go there so I can meet some more people, and then I'll make my exit from there. And then, of course, because we were having White Claws at that point. So I was like, all right, this is like a good like end of the night. And then I think it was around like 9 is when they were like, well, we have some Tito's here. And so they started making drinks. And then, of course, Miguel is never going to walk away from a party.
No,
ma'am.
not Miguel. Not Miguel
Nope,
Fuller. If
nope.
there is a party, Miguel will post up.
I will be there. And so then it was like, we're ordering Ubers. We're going to the club. And I was like, how did I end up here? And like, there was literally one point where we were standing in line, and I'm like, can I just order Uber to go home? Like,
I mean, you could have.
I could have.
Bitch, it was 11:30.
Nope, we were there.
There you were.
Yeah. So that was a fun time. But Friday night, I was very proud of myself because I'm wanting to do CrossFit Saturday mornings. So Friday evening, we went to Noda Company Store, and it's this really cool place where they have like outdoor seating, and it was a beautiful day Friday evening. And so we all just, I think I just had like a couple of glasses of champagne, and we were just hanging out, just chatting or whatnot. And then we went to one more place, and then at like 10, I was like, I'm good. I've officially had a Friday evening. I don't want to be hungover for CrossFit on Saturday morning. And so I thought that since I had the willpower Friday night, I could do it Saturday. Did not happen.
Wait, well, you didn't have anything Sunday morning preventing you.
This is true.
I mean,
this is true.
The willpower was only really willpowerful enough because you had something scheduled for Saturday.
Yeah.
Had you not, I don't know. I might have turned out differently. I don't know.
But it was a good time though. It's really exciting to be in a new place and continually meeting new people that you really connect with. And then just getting to know people on a deeper level. And like, that's one of the reasons why I wanted to go to this person's house, because like I see them all the time and we're like now friendly, we say hi. And so there was one moment we were at this person's house, and he was talking about like his family life and where he comes from this religious background, and like they weren't too good on him, being gay.
Yeah.
And at one point he was like, I'm so sorry, I don't mean to like dump all this on you. I'm like, this is what I love.
You found the right person.
loves.
You found the right person to dump on.
Overshare it,
That's-
Bitch, I want you to dump all of your trauma on me right now, because now like I know that I can say that like you're not just someone that I see at the club and say hi to. Like,
Right.
we know now a little bit more about each other, and that's how you start to establish a friendship and a rapport. So I was like,
Trauma bonding.
exactly, tell me everything. What
no,
happened?
that's not what
Yeah, I want you to tell me
I
everything.
do kind of like that too, because it does bring people closer.
Right. Because like what
Well,
else do
you
we
have
talk
to be
about?
vulnerable.
Yeah.
Right.
Like you have to get deep and let people see you. And some people do have a hard time with that, which I get.
Right.
But yeah, it's the only way to really get to know anybody real on a deeper level. You
Right.
have to eventually, or that just ends up being one of those relationships where you're acquaintances and you just wave at each other from
Right.
across the
Mhm.
room.
because I was like, okay, we talked about where everyone works and how you got here to Charlotte. I'm like, all right, well, we've gossiped
Thanks.
about everybody and everything. I'm like, no, I want to know who hurt you,
Oh,
who wounded you, what keeps you up at night.
yeah. Speaking of this, can I make a quick side tangent?
Mhm.
What you said something that just kind of clicked in my brain. So you said like, you talked about where everybody works and what I don't understand other people's jobs.
I never remember them.
I both don't remember them
Mm-hmm.
and my brain does not comprehend what they do all day.
Yes.
I don't know if that is uniquely a radio person thing or if it's I'm just stupid. Like
No,
I
listen.
cannot unless you tell me something very basic.
Right.
Like I'm a fireman or
Right.
I am a teacher of
Yes.
math or I don't know, like I do people's hair. Got it. I understand that profession. But if you say anything outside of that, I'm like, I'm gonna nod
No,
and ask you no follow-up questions because I don't even know the question to ask you after what you just said.
I had the same thing happen to me. Same thing. I don't even remember the title of it. But I was trying to get to know somebody. We had invited a friend over at like 3 a.m. after that club on Saturday. And I was like, oh, come over. Like it's one of my friends, really close friend. And Oscar said that I asked him a really weird question because I was wondering, I was like, hey, so like, I know that you work in the hotel business, but what do you do on your days off? Like, what does your day off look like? And so I was just trying to understand, like, how do you decompress, like with a
Yeah.
stressful job?
Or what do you
Mhm.
like to do in your
Yes.
free time?
He thought that was weird.
Now, that's a
Why?
normal
I don't
question.
know. I thought that was a normal question.
That is a normal
That
question.
is. It'd be one thing if you were like, hey, how much money do you make and what do you do with it on your days off?
No.
Like, that's a weird question to ask, but just asking what you do in your free time, I feel like
That is
that's a
basically
pretty.
saying, what are your hobbies? Like, that's a
Yeah.
very normal question. I thought it was going to be
Yes.
like a question that didn't match their job. Like, if you asked a hotel person and you're like, well, what do you do with people's finances?
Or have you ever hooked up in one of the hotel rooms while you were there at the job?
That's awkward.
Like,
That's awkward.
that's
That's a
a
normal
little
question for
awkward.
me,
That's true. That's a good question to ask on the radio. Yeah, no, and especially here in Charlotte, because a lot of people, this is the second biggest financial
Yes.
city
Yeah.
in America. And so a lot of people that I've been meeting work in finance. And girl, when they're like, I work in the division,
The
and I'm like,
digital strategist, media outlying. I'm
Media
just like,
buyer. What?
oh, that's awesome. And then I move on, like, because I'm too embarrassed to even, like, I feel so stupid. I'm like, I don't want to be like, what is that? Like,
I think
I don't actually know what for a really long time, I don't even know what my best friend did. Like, I knew she was something in like the legal profession, but I was like, I don't really. Finally, I do absolutely understand what she does, but it took years.
Well, that's why one of them was telling me that he works in, they audit people in their banking place.
Okay.
And I was like, so does that mean you
Do you work? Is it?
So what do you
Company-
do all
what do you
day?
do?
And they're like,
And
I'm in a
that's
lot
where
of
my question came from.
meetings and I'm talking to people. And I was
Yeah,
like,
but you're like,
girl,
okay. I got it. I don't know.
I'm like, meanwhile, I'm like, I take the ridiculous things that we do and try to ask questions and throw it out and to get you listening, engage in what we do.
Right.
And
we try to be funny and
somewhat
impactful and
times.
authentic.
Yeah. So good on you for one of those, jobs.
Jobs that I don't understand. So I'm sorry to go on a side tangent, but when you said that, I was like, I don't even know what people do.
Neither do I.
Sometimes I fake compliment. I'll be like, oh, that's really cool. And like the response I got for the first time ever saying that was, it's not. And I was like,
You're
yeah,
like,
okay.
Clearly I don't understand what you do. So I'm gonna sorry about that.
I'm going to walk away.
Walk away.
Let's play a quick game of Would You Rather before we go.
Yes.
All right.
Let's
Would
do
you
it.
rather?
Here we go. And
Yes.
this first one's a little deep, okay? And you
Oh.
watching can play along. Would you rather kill one innocent near-death person or 3 people in middle age who have committed violent crimes? And in quotations, you have to kill them all yourself.
Oh my God.
Would you rather kill one innocent near-death person or 3 people in middle age who have committed violent crimes?
What the hell?
Why? Like, this is an off-air fucking question. What are you asking this on this on video?
I already thought about what I would do, and honestly, I feel like I don't want to be on the record for it because someone's gonna find this podcast later and then
And
be like,
connect
"Well,
you.
Holly O'Connor, did you say on May 1st, 2023?"
I
at
kind of agree. Well,
whatever. I mean, be out here hanging. Miguel, you go first.
yeah, you go.
Crimes. Would you rather kill one innocent near-death person or 3 people in middle age who have committed violent crimes? I would say like I so here's my rationale. Like I want to say one near-death person because if they're almost close to dying, you're sort of helping them put them out of their misery if they are, even though they are innocent. And if you know they're going to die, because the only thing with people in the middle age who have committed violent crimes, I do believe in redemption. I do believe that people can change. And so what if you kill them and they could have gone on to be rehabilitated and then help other people be rehabilitated in the future? So that's why I feel like I'm aiming more towards the kill one innocent near death person. And like most people, like Jason Hole said 3 people, Tony said the 3, Zinda said the 3.
I'll snitch on them.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's 100% exactly what is no surprise. That's exactly what I was going to say. Like my reasoning, the same, exactly what you just said. So I'm going to choose the one person. You said near death. I mean, near death, we're talking about, I mean,
Stage 4.
Yes, like I just think of like my mom near death. Nobody wants that.
Right.
I don't want that.
I was
like, she doesn't want
hesitant
it.
because what if it's like a kid?
I mean, I don't know. Near death. I don't know.
Right. I mean,
I
because
just feel like near death, I am like, this is going to happen regardless of whether I do anything or not. But exactly what Miguel said about the 3 people, you know, there could be redemption there. And that's a lot of life left for there to be redemption.
Right.
And Zinda brought up a point. She said on the flip, the near death could recover as well. But that doesn't specify that, obviously, so I don't know.
Right.
Yeah.
But then you're asking me to do 3 murders.
Yeah, that's a lot.
I'm not able to commit 3 murders,
Right.
period. Okay. I'm not. I don't have the fortitude to commit 3.
I'll play devil's advocate and flip it and say, well, this is a little dark, but what if the 3 people were incredibly racist, bigoted, mass shooters kind of situation? I don't know, anything that hits close to home that is a terrible violent crime. I almost feel like this said person, if they were given this chance, or I guess would you rather question, they probably wouldn't hesitate doing the 3 people who did those horrific crimes compared to a near death innocent person.
Right.
Like I could understand why somebody would choose the 3 people.
Obviously, I can understand that. And we have been the way that we are societally formed in America is that, like, I almost feel like most people's like immediate thing is like, there's black and white, there's bad and good, there's yes and no. It's not anybody's fault. Like, this is how we've been conditioned. Like, either things are like, you look at it first blush and it's bad or it's good. So crimes, bad. Violent, bad. Innocent, good. But we don't know.
Right.
We don't know. I'm just saying, I don't want to come out here trying to commit 3 murders.
Same.
Here's the next would you rather.
Okay.
Would you rather have skin like pineapple or coconut?
We love this question.
Would you rather, we go from killing people to, would you rather have skin like pineapple or coconut?
So this is without this, because the pineapple with the skin on, correct? Not like it cut up.
The pineapple skin, not cut up.
I'm
going coconut.
I feel like coconuts, like they have little hairs.
Yeah, it's just I
Yeah.
have a little all over.
Because if
I'd
you do
Poke myself if I was a pineapple.
I know.
Yeah, because
People
if you
wouldn't want to touch me.
right, like, and imagine if you're trying to like have alone time and you're
Or
You
adult
can't.
time with someone else.
right, and then you cutting them
Ow.
up.
Ow, no. I'm doing coconut all
Yeah,
day.
I would
Coconut.
just let me be furry. Like, let me just be cousin it and just have hair everywhere.
You
like
could probably keep it trim.
that is
You
true.
could keep your coconut hair trimmed.
Yeah.
Yeah, and at least you wouldn't be cutting someone
Jabbing
up
people.
every time you're trying to,
Who's
feel like-
choosing pineapple? I don't even think that's I just don't know who would choose that one. All right.
All right, here's the last one.
Yes.
Would you rather have all the pimples you'll ever have in your life on your body for 3 weeks and never get a pimple again, or get pimples at the regular for the rest of your life?
Obviously the first one.
Oh.
Obviously the first one. There's no question. That's not even a question. Get that question out. Next.
Would you rather have all the pimples you'll ever have in your life on your body for 3 weeks and never get a pimple again, or get
Yes.
pimples at the regular rate for the rest of your life?
Yep, no, get it all. I will just sit
What-
my ass at home with my pimple
Work
body,
from home, bitch.
and that'd be the end of that.
Mm.
I would probably have paid money to make that happen in real life when I was younger. Absolutely.
Yeah, I agree.
I would agree. Yeah, I think so too. I mean, just avoid all human interaction for 3 weeks. I'd be okay with that.
Yeah, and I fully understand it would probably be very painful
Mhm.
and horrifying,
And
and I
pussy.
would still do it.
Not the
Mhm.
I would
pussy.
still do it.
Mhm.
Pussy.
All that pussy coming out everywhere.
No, Miguel.
Mhm. Like
I've
this,
never even used that word that way.
yeah.
No,
Pussy.
nobody has because it's
No.
not meant to be.
But it is. It's pussy. It is. It's pus coming out of your pimples.
Podcast
Yes, it
title.
Yeah. No.
No. No. No.
I mean, but can you think about like all the places, the awkward places you've had pimples? Like,
yes.
I've had one in intimate spots where the sun don't shine.
Oh,
Correct.
And I was like, this hurts to, yeah.
I get super mega pimples sometimes where
Yeah.
one pimple combines with the one right next to it.
It's like all the pores are against you, and there could be like 20 pores in one that each have a pimple going in it, and it forms
Yes.
a giant
A
super
giant basketball on my face.
Oh.
pimple. Worse.
And you pop one, but the other one doesn't pop. And
No,
so it just
ugh,
keeps
I remember those days.
going.
I've done so
Mm-mm.
many trials,
Girl.
so many
Yeah.
things. If you'll recall, I think I spoke about this on a podcast last year, maybe. And I'm very happy to report, but like some of the worst places to get pimples is like Miguel said, like in a intimate area.
Mhm.
Crevice.
Yeah,
Mm.
in somewhere that one wouldn't think that one would get a pimple.
Mm.
But then there one is, and it's not a little tiny little one either. It's like a big
They
old
never
knot.
are in that
No.
area.
They never are. And
God.
so I was getting them almost monthly at the other building. Like,
Oof.
do you remember?
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
do you remember I would bitch about it? And y'all
Yeah.
were probably like, shut the f- up about your pimples on your. But like, it was probably like maybe not month, but maybe at least every 2 months. And since we started the new building, and I have a new chair that's not just leather,
And it can breathe.
it hasn't happened. I knew it was that chair. I knew it was the chair. But yeah, my undercarriage can breathe, and I'm not a mess. The worst thing was that I had it during the telethon, the
radiothon.
radiothon.
Yes.
I couldn't even
remember.
sit down correctly.
I
It was,
remember.
You had to take my jacket and sit on it because it was like, ooh, this kitty is not breathing, girl.
it
Like
was
she is
terrible.
struggling.
And then like what I did that night, because it was that 2-day thing, I was like, I cannot go through this again for another 13-hour day. So I went back to the hotel and I just got to work in the shower.
Was it pussy?
I mean, I'll let you figure out in your own mind what you want to think about it. But the next day was not as painful.
Oh,
Not as painful.
okay. All right.
So no more of that. We don't got to deal with that no more. Praise
Yes.
the Lord.
Let that
Yes.
kitty breathe, honey.
Amen.
Yes.
Let the congregation say amen.
All right. Well,
Man,
everyone.
stuff you just really didn't want to know.
No, but we did. We truly did.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, this is
Okay,
good.
good.
Thank you for
Very
letting us
visuals,
into
though.
your
I didn't want-
I don't even know why y'all here sometimes. Sometimes I feel like we talk about stuff and y'all, you literally, you listening is like, this might be it for me, y'all. It's the last one. I'm done.
Can't do it after this. We just talked about plus.
No, last week's podcasts were on one.
Yeah, they were.
Oh, I forgot
Tied one
to.
off.
So the real ones who stayed after last week.
I forgot
love
to
ya.
read a message that we got after last week's podcast about the whole poop conversation. Someone
Oh my
sent
God,
us
I
a
forgot
message.
about that. I was thinking about when we had Kramer on.
No, that one too. They said, I had a poop dream because of the podcast, y'all. My best friend pooped herself, and when we got to a hotel, I had to go out and buy a bidet for her. I was so distressed in the dream, it woke me up. What a way to start my morning, LOL. So thank you.
I'm sorry. We've now influenced people's
You're welcome.
subconsciouses.
Yeah. Come on. Okay.
Well, we all need
All
together.
in a day's work.
Producer
Yeah.
Kelvin, what is your social media people can find you?
TikTok, Twitter, Instagrams at Kelvin Live. That's Kelvin with a B. And if you play PlayStation, you can add my gamer tag, BSSY Killer, Butsy Killer.
Holly, what's your social media?
Radio Holly on TikTok, on Twitter, on Instagram, on Spoutable. I don't know if anyone's gone to that yet. Also, what was I just gonna say? Oh, the Wii app. It's just something I'm endorsing. It's welcome to everything. Wait a second. Welcome to everything for everyone, everywhere, every day. And especially if you're in the Charlotte area, it's just a really cool new thing that I'm, in full disclosure, being paid to talk about. But I've gone on it and I've done it myself, and it actually is a really cool thing. So check it out.
You can find me, Miguel Fuller, on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, and on Be Real, Miguel Fuller. And we will see you back here on Wednesday. Bye.
Miguel and Holly Uncensored.
Catch it on the iHeartRadio app or anywhere you